I know in our lives we've had villains that are so good that we wish nothing but the worst for them. The performance and everything is top notch, but when you see them on the screen, you want everything bad to happen to them. That's exactly how I feel when it comes to Divine in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Villains that I have seen so far, from GX, Duel Monsters, and 5Ds, I've never had a level of hatred towards a villain in my life until I saw who this guy was and what he's done in his past. The on-screen stuff is irritating to begin with, but I want to take a deep dive inside of Yu-Gi-Oh's most twisted villain. I know there are a ton of dub fans out there, but like I said in my previous video, I'm a sub watcher. Also, if you really do want to know about the true story of who and what this guy has done, the sub is the way to go 10 times out of 10, trust me. Before we get into the video, however, be sure to leave a like to help this video reach the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade content in the near future. And now, let's get into it. Divine was the founder of the Arcadia Movement, which was an organization filled of psychic duelists. In case anyone doesn't know about that, they inflict real damage to opposing duelists, despite not having some sort of shadow or dark power. When Aki was vulnerable, and had no place to go due to her unknown powers and her parents completely denying her, Divine welcomed her with open arms to her new home where he would begin the total manipulation of her. But why would he start this movement in the first place? Well, it's mostly because he was discriminated in his past and was rejected by society, let's say. But that's all we know in terms of his past. However, something twisted ended up getting revealed later on in the show that I might as well say now since I'm going in chronological order. There was this boy named Toby, who was a big fan of Aki and her dueling, wanted to be just like her. The only way he could get into the Arcadia Movement is if he asked Divine. That way he could use Toby to see if he had true powers. However, when the procedure began, it didn't go well or as planned. When Divine found out that he had no hidden abilities or that his powers were extremely weak, he increased the voltage rate, which could have been fatal. His members didn't want to do it, but he gave them no choice, electrocuting and killing Toby, who was, I believe, just to be under or above the age of 10. I could be wrong. His older sister, Misty, the world's most famous supermodel at the time, was shocked to hear about her little brother, obviously, having discovered his body beyond recognition. The rumors was that he was crushed by a heavy object caused by Aki's psychic dueling prior. Misty drove off a cliff and was rushed to the hospital about to die, but before that, the earthbound gods gave her the power of being a dark signer, wanting revenge against Aki for the death of her brother, but we know who the real killer was. During the Fortune Cup arc, he kept Aki secluded from everyone. Knowing about her signer powers and Yusei wanting to talk to her about them, he kept her under wraps nonetheless. However, during the Dark Signers arc, Rua and Ruka went over to the Arcadia Movement building to persuade Divine and Aki to help them defeat the Dark Signers. However, he did not care about it whatsoever and knocked out the twins with sleeping gas. Rua was forced to duel Divine to find out if he had any sort of psychic powers and was nearly tortured in that duel. Rua lost as he saved Ruka for last, since he knew about her hidden abilities as well, being a signer. After the duel, he assured Aki wasn't going to do any more harm. However, in comes Carly Carmine, a reporter who knew that the Arcadia Movement had a lot of dirt on them, especially Divine. However, nobody could do anything about it since he knew about the secret Rex Godwin, the director of Sector Security, being born in Satellite. But it begs the question, how was Carly connected into all of this? This brings back Misty, telling Carly that she saw death in her future and something else was awaiting to happen. She told Carly about the Arcadia Movement and her brother Toby. On top of knowing Aki was a signer, she snuck into the building and Divine's office. He later on caught her and forced her into a duel. Remember, Divine has psychic powers, so it was all real damage for Carly. Divine ended up winning, and his powers made Carly fall multiple stories down the Arcadia building, killing her in instant impact. However, moments later, she was reborn as a Dark Signer wanting revenge against Divine. She comes back and duels him once more. This time, she is victorious. Divine falls through the building with all of us assuming that he died. Aki saw it too while she was dueling Misty. During the Battle of the Signers and the last one, which was Aki and Misty's rematch, we saw someone on a boat traveling to their destination. That same person encountered Mikage and Yusei, both knocking them down, as he was revealed to be a psychic duelist, and yes, we know who this is. However, when Aki was revealed the death of Toby and how it got Misty spiraling, she couldn't duel any further. And just before she trips over something as she was about to be impaled by a glass shard, Divine swoops in and saves her. This was pretty much the only good thing Divine did the entire anime, but then again, all he did was use her as she was his most prized possession. I shit you not, I think he said this in the anime as well. He whispers something in her ear that triggers her psychic powers, which brings back the Black Rose Witch persona. Divine watches from afar and Yusei kicks down a door to confront him, before Yusei fell down after getting into a physical altercation with him, and possibly getting injured from falling down. He turns on the radio that he customized himself in his dual disc, making Divine admit that he was the one behind Toby's death and not Aki. Divine's true intentions through all of this was to start a world war with the psychic duelist. He recruited many people in Neo Domino City and was wanting to expand all over the world to use Aki as this billboard of promotion or whatever. The people who failed to meet his expectations were no use to him. It makes me wonder if Toby was ever the first victim or was he just one of. He killed Carly into becoming a Dark Signer and manipulated a vulnerable girl, which made her develop the Black Rose Witch persona, while just being one of many Divine soldiers or subjects. Misty overheard the conversation and set her attention to Divine. She used her Earthbound God to kill Divine, as she succeeded, which was the best thing a Dark Signer did, and there is no debate whatsoever. She wanted to surrender the duel as Yusei helped Aki prove her innocence, but the King of the Underworld intervened in her surrendering. He takes over and Aki finishes the job, ending the Arcadia movement and Divine's plans. He was later on to be found alive and was put into jail, most likely for life due to the death of Toby and kidnapping multiple children as well in order to fulfill his wish of a world war. All the villains I have seen in Yu-Gi-Oh!, this dude takes the cake for the one that I hate the most. The Dark Signers arc is genuinely the best shit I ever watched in Yu-Gi-Oh! But either way, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more anime content in the near future. I'll catch you guys in my next video very soon.